What's going on, my friend? Coach Grant Eilertson here, and in today's video we are going to talk about how you could be asking all the right questions, presenting your offer perfectly, nailing the pitch, but still losing sales, and what to do about it. Alright, so I almost didn't make this video because it's a very basic beginner level thing. But that said, if you aren't nailing this, you're missing out on a ton of sales. And training up one of my new sales reps, I realized this was a pattern we needed to nip right in the butt, or he was going to be floundering on calls. So, what are we talking about today? We are talking about being a control freak at the end of your calls to make sure your deals close. Now, if you haven't already, make sure that you go and watch this video and this video linked up in the cards to nail your presentation and your pitch. These two things are going to dramatically increase your likelihood of closing sales. And then if you run up against objections because you missed some small thing in your sales conversation, totally cool. This video will help you out big time. And while you're taking a look at those videos, just do me a quick favor and smash the like button. It is the only tuition that I ask of you in exchange for watching these videos that will help you make a ton more money. So if you appreciate this, help fuel the fire. Just quick little tap on that like button, turn it blue. It really means the world to me, and it helps us out a lot in the YouTube algorithm. So thanks for doing that. Now, this one key here, being a control freak at the end of your calls, is going to make such an enormous difference. I just want to share with you a rough statistic. Out of the tens of thousands of calls that both I and all of my clients have taken, I've seen that if you do not collect payment, even if it's not a full payment, but if you do not collect some sort of payment as commitment to the process on the call itself, the likelihood of that deal closing drops to below 7% after the fact. Will you close the occasional unicorn that actually follows through? Yes, but do you really want to leave it up to chance? Do you really want to have less than a 7% chance of that deal actually closing? Or do you want to put cash in the bank and get paid? A pretty simple choice, right? So now here's a couple things. When it comes to ensuring you collect payment over the phone, of course, from a strategic point of view, you need to either have a payment processor like Stripe or Wave or PayFunnels or whatever else that is available at your time of watching this video that would allow you to punch in your prospect's card information over the phone. If for some crazy reason it's not possible for you to have a system like this set up and you're using something like PayPal, for example, with an invoice, you need to have them make the payment on the phone still, even if you're sending it to them and letting them take care of it. And we'll walk through a couple things that you can do with your language in a second to make sure that happens. But again, make sure you nail your presentation, the pitch, and if there's any objection handling, totally cool. A couple ways that you can make sure you get payment over the phone. A lot of people will fall into what I call like training wheels, which is like an action taker's discount. For example, like, hey, it's going to be $6,800, or for people who are all in and committed right from the start, we like to reward that action-taking energy with a $1,000 discount, good for the duration of our call. That is an option. Other people will use an action takers or on-the-spot bonus. For example, adding in an additional high perceived value component to the program or the course or the offer that's only available for people who are ready and willing to take action on the spot. Essentially communicating it in a very similar way, but like, hey, we love to reward people who are in an action-taking energy because they aren't just the people that get the best results in our program, but frankly, they're the most fun to work with. So if that's you, I do have an action takers bonus good for the duration of our call today. Is that something you'd like to explore? Now, aside from having a discount or a bonus, for example, there are other things that you can do that are a bit more subtle that don't even require you to shift the offer or the pricing at all. And that is having next steps. Super simple. So it's like, once your prospect says yes and you ask the integral, well, why is it a yes for you? And then they tell you exactly why it's a yes for them now. You can say, great. Well, next steps, we'll just get your payment processed. So go ahead and grab your card while I take care of the next steps for you here. Super simple. I'm giving a command, but in a way that is framed in their benefit. So go ahead and grab your card and I'll get the next steps set up here. Very simple. You don't even have to discuss what the next steps are. This one little shift can make an enormous difference in collecting payment over the phone. Another component of making sure you can get payment over the phone is understanding the two sides of a sales call. So, of course, I'm going to link another video for you here. You've got a lot of homework if you haven't seen these, but these are absolute must-watches. Go see this video that will help you understand the tonality difference that you must get in order to close more sales. Now, what we're looking at is the back end of the call, the certainty frame. This is how it is. All right, go ahead and grab your card. I'll get your next steps set up, and that way there's no lag time, and we'll get you right off to the races. This is how it is. I'm not saying, okay, so do you have your card with you? No, I'm certain. All right, go ahead and grab your card, and we'll get your next steps set up so there's no lag time. I'll put myself on mute while you do that. Plain and simple. The person in an interaction with the most certainty will be the one that controls the frame. Now, if your prospects are more certain that they're uncertain about the process, then you are certain that this is the best possible step. Take my hand, we will crush it together. Then you will bend to their frame. Don't do that. Be a control freak at the end of the call. It's in service not only to you and your bank account, but also to them. Because if they do not make commitment financially on the phone, the chances of them closing are slim to none. And if you've made your presentation and your pitch to them because they genuinely need your product or service, and you don't support them with making the smart choice and nailing it down, then their fear is going to come up naturally, and they'll talk themselves out of closing altogether, putting them in quite possibly an even worse situation than when you first met them, because now not only do they have the problem, but they have a deeper understanding and awareness of the problem, so it's going to cause even more pain in their life. Don't do that to your prospects. Be a control freak at the end of your call and make sure that a payment is collected. Last little thing, deposits. Let's just say, for example, someone's like, yeah, I'm 100% in, I'm just finishing up with another program over the next couple months and then I'll be in. Great. Totally cool. Let them know, awesome, sounds cool. Well, as I mentioned prior, we do have an action takers bonus available for the duration of our call. Now, I understand that this isn't something that you're ready to get started with now. However, I can save that bonus for you with a small deposit. That way, when you are ready to get started, not only will the spot still be available, but we'll be able to blank XYZ with said bonus or said discount. You lock in that rate. There's a lot of variables here, so I'm obviously not covering the entire picture. So look at your own business, see where you can find leverage in terms of being able to incentivize a decision being made on the spot. Everyone will benefit. And if you don't do this, well, again, less than 7% of your calls are going to end up closing, so don't do that. All right, this has been Coach Grant Eilertson. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. If you liked that video, just wait till you see the next one. And if you haven't already, go right down below me and hit subscribe.